Incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle Show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it.
Now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come in at 15-0, 1 win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Bears offense heading out, led by Mitchell Trubisky, a Pro Bowler last year in 2018. And, of course, the number 2 overall pick in the draft back in 2017. Now Trubisky on first down. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. On the ground with a rookie from Iowa State, David Montgomery. And he stopped immediately there. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle. And, Charles, now we get our first look at this offense.
And one guy you have to look at in particular is Kyle Long. Can play guard or tackle with a nice degree of nastiness.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Trubisky. He'll find his tight end. That's Ben Broniker. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the...
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Vikings under 6-year head coach Mike Zimmer. They'll be led out by the 8-year NFL veteran, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Cousins throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but it's going to be 2nd down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And running back Dalvin Cook was drafted in 2017 to be the lead runner for the Vikings, and he should love what they're putting in for him in 2019. This is a run-first, run-heavy offense as dictated by their head coach. Dalvin Cook should get more than enough carries to threaten 1,000 yards rushing this season. All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
He'll return it from the 6. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And these guys locked into that #1 seed. That's been a foregone conclusion for a while now. The question on everyone's mind, Can they finish the regular season a perfect 16-0?
And it all comes back to philosophy of the organization, philosophy of the head coach, and, of course, the locker room itself. What do the players want to do? And I think what most teams would do in this situation is approach it, let's win every game, but let's be smart about doing it. So it doesn't mean that they're going to go all out if, indeed, they do need to rest a few people.
Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Just like that. Just like that.
Now it's Trubisky going up top for Miller, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake, and the gamble pays off. They get the first. They only get 4, but the fake punt works and gets him a first down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And 3 yards there, takes him to the 45.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Looking deep for Gabriel. That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A huge play there for Chicago. 41 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. On 2nd down now, it's Montgomery, and he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as the Bears push further out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. 3rd and short yardage, Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Fielded just inside the 20. Now they can't bring him down. Cordero Patterson, touchdown, Chicago. Covered a lot of ground there, 81 yards on the punt return as the Bears push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multi-tap.
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Ha-Ha Clinton Dix with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. After the interception, here's Trubisky. That's complete to the tight end, Broniker. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Montgomery. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Second and goal from the 6 this time. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's third and goal. Throwing here, Trubisky. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now Cousins throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. This time they stay on the ground, and they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. Looking deep for Gabriel. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start in the Motor City. Detroit playing host to Green Bay in an NFC North matchup. And this one getting ugly early. A 17-point game at the half. Aaron Jones, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. Next, we're off to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Willie Snead, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. Quincy Enunwa, a touchdown reception. In our game, it's been Mitchell Trubisky, who's looked sharp thus far. His guys have just about put this one on ice already. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danny Trevathan. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Throwing, Cousins, looking middle, and it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins, and that will be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Fielded at the 33. And that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense now with a short field ahead. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Looking to throw Trubisky on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now it's Trubisky. He gets this complete to Shaheen, the tight end. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw, Cousins. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Roquan Smith, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Finding some room at midfield. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big play there, Cousins to Thielen, and even 50 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Cousins, and this one hauled in by Rudolph. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable. Just found a hole in that zone. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Cousins. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. 13 games going on here this final Sunday of 2019, the final Sunday of the regular season. 3 more games still to come following us. Raiders, Broncos, Cards, Rams, and Niners, Seahawks. And then we'll know the 12 teams who will continue on into the playoffs starting next Saturday here on EA Sports. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter this. And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
A first down throw for Cousins. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Bears will get the football back. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. On 1st down, Montgomery. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Trubisky able to complete this one to Montgomery. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Trubisky now 5 straight completions here in this second half. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They start the drive with Cook. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a game.
Second and 5 now. Cousins. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. To throw is Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Cousins on first down. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Mike 58, right there. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off.
To the air again. It's Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Not today.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't matter. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through. And that's a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that. Coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already. And they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Here's Matt Weil now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. And they can't corral him. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Bears, they've indeed run the table here on the regular season. They finish a perfect 16-0, joining the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to ever do so. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go out.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas, I will not crash.
Scouting points are earned every week. Use all of your points because a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week.
Jump in the stands, no man, man, oh, deal with the hands, thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans, I do what I want, they do what they can, got it on smash, foot on the gas, I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle this. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want.